Is it Regan?
Regan, yeah.
Regan. Got it.
Okay. Sorry, I was calling you Regan, like fucking isn't that like the Walking Dead like guy? Or is that I don't know.
You know what you talking about.
I don't know either. I'm drunk, so
Regan, the guy with the bat and
Negan, that's it. Negan, not Regan. Regan.
That's good.
Hey man, I don't even watch that show, and I know the name.
Okay. Welcome in Dynasty Happy Hour Open Bar. We're here. We're with some new fellas. I'm trying to learn everyone's names, and I have no idea what's going on. I'm probably just gonna sit back this entire show because I'm just, I promise, but I'm just on one apparently. So I'm done with me. I'm drinking Cold Smoke for now. Montana beer. That's me. That's Gabe. I'm your host. One of the hosts. Excuse me, J Mike at Grab Bag Fantasy. J Mike, look, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I don't know why I say it. I'm just like used to transitioning from my podcast to this one, and then I'm like, I'm the fucking co-host.
I just need to figure out why I'm even here. I mean, let me just take
fined,
these earbuds
bro.
off.
We talked about this.
I'll just go to bed. How about that? Hey, no,
so you don't get fined.
Right. I'm just here so I don't get fined. No, excited to be here as usual. It's been a long day though. So at this point, I have switched over from the wonderful Coors Original to the Blue Dolphin. So I believe that I will be DDing for us for the rest of the evening. I got you. You need to get home safe. I got you.
I'm gonna need it. So just kind of forewarning for all of you. Let's keep it rolling. What is this, like your fourth time? I don't even know, Jake. What time is this for you?
I lose track.
Too many cocktails, too many beverages. Yeah.
I think I have a drinking problem and I don't want to drink alone, so I just hop on the open bar and say what's up.
Yep.
He's like the Justin Timberlake 2-hour Saturday Night Live. He comes on and everything's just that much better.
It's true. It's
you
true.
Want to put it that way.
We're gonna do at the end of it. We're gonna do a parody like Andy Samberg, Justin Timberlake, Dick in the Box type of stuff. I'm not saying that I'm gonna put my dick in a box. I'm just saying that like we'll do a song.
Yeah, I've prepared for that.
Okay.
It's
wow,
ready.
we are lit.
Maybe a dick in a wine box. I don't know. So we'll see.
I like it.
Yeah. All right. So we got a couple other guys. So I just kind of met them today. I was like, hey, look, it's open bar tonight. I better get some guests on. That'd be a good idea. And so I reached out and Burf, my dude Van Burf, he's always hitting us up with some people to reach out to, just making the community better. And so hooked up with the fake pigskin man, Regan. I was calling him Reagan. I was also calling him Negan. I don't know what the fuck I was calling him, but it was all wrong. And I'm sorry about that. But hey, brother, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me. It is Regan.
Yes.
That's officially worse than me calling Connor from a few shows back Colin. You have eclipsed me on that. So well done, sir.
That might be true.
might be Reagan and Megan.
I don't fucking know. We all need like Walking Dead nicknames by the end of the show too. That's definitely in order. And then Dynasty 101. He's part of the fake pigskin, if I'm correct, because Negan kind of I just said it again. Regan.
It's gonna be a long night.
Oh my god, guys, I'm done. I'm fucking done.
It's okay. We'll have a whole fake pics and start calling him Negan. I don't know if we'll still have a job by the end of the night, but
perfect.
Oh my goodness. Please.
Now I'm gonna have to get the bat.
Yeah, I know. Once I see that come out, then I'll start sweating and maybe I'll stop calling you. Well, so J Mike, you're drinking water. Quickly, what are y'all drinking? Then we'll kind of move things along here.
I'm drinking a margarita.
Attaboy.
Not out of the bottle.
Water for Negan. We got another Blue Dolphin. I did it on purpose this time, by the way, because I'm now just gonna start calling you Negan. And are also Blue Dolphin. Look, we got a lot of Blue Dolphins here. Jake and I are not gonna be swimming. We're gonna be swimming in booze, but we definitely need some Blue Dolphins to take us home. I'm not really sure where that metaphor is going, but just kind of go with it. Hey, but I'm happy to meet you too. I'm happy to have you on, Jake. Whatever, you're basically a bi-weekly kind of thing at this point, so it is what it is.
Bi-weekly.
So, fellas, check this out. I was telling you off air about this, and I gotta tell listeners and viewers right now what I'm doing. I'm in a redraft league right now, so I'm going to be chiming in and out. I'm already not here, but I'm going to be more not here, basically. So I need your help with draft picks. I might interrupt you if you're mid swig. I'm just going to be like, hey, guys. So I'm going to need some help. And
what's the timer on your clock? 2 minutes?
And it's really short too. It's like $1.20 or something. So
Ooh.
I have
long.
very little time. So once I start talking, shut the fuck up and just let's focus on my draft. And
it's all about me, Gabe. It's all about me.
I'm the only host. J Mike, you're nothing.
Marsha.
We should do tonight's show letting us make your picks for you.
Yes.
Kickers. Kickers and defense.
Just so you'll know what this league is, it's crazy. It's 16-team league. It's just a redraft league, by the way. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 flex spots, but you can only do wide receiver, tight end, and then a kicker, a defense, and then count it 2 bench spots. Just 2. That's it. So 16-team league. I mean, it's pretty shallow as is, and it's tough, man. It's a tough league.
Especially when you don't know what the scoring is.
Okay,
Gabe,
this was off air talk. I don't know if it's PBR or standard. I legitimately don't know. So I'm just kidding.
That doesn't really matter.
Everyone. Just grab everyone you can. It's a 16-team league.
Right. No, my team's going to be waiver wire guys by the end of the year. I mean, I have 2 bench spots. No shot. So I'm up in about 6 picks, so we can talk football and things like that. First thing on my mind is why the hell do starters play in preseason? Because these dudes just I don't know, going through a drive-through at Wendy's and then next moment they're on the football field. Are they preparing for this? And if they are, why does this happen in preseason all the time? I know it's a rough sport, but why are they even playing?
I think it's probably because, everything is non-contact nowadays. So their bodies aren't used to sustaining those kind of hits. And then they go from just training basically and getting their stamina up, and then all of a sudden they're taking shots. And then, I think injuries are more likely to happen when they're not used to taking those hits.
Did someone say shots?
Shots? Let's go.
Shots.
What you got?
No, you're right, man. I mean, it's all about hyping up the, guys in shorts and helmets and in mini camp and walkthroughs and whatnot. So, it's their first time in contact. That's a good point. I mean, does it upset anyone else as much as it does me? Because I mean, there's just too much. It just hurts to see all these guys go down right in preseason like that.
Well, I'll tell you why they're playing. It's because of money. They're charging full prices for preseason games. We want to at least see a cameo appearance by the stars. I mean, I'm not paying $40 to see the guy who's going to be working at Walmart next week playing.
Yeah.
I think the coaches want to get them to shake the rust off too. I don't think they want them going to week 1 without getting a snap. I think they want to shake some of that rust off and get them assimilated for the NFL season.
Yeah, to some degree, you have to get reps at the end of the day. Practice is nice and all, but you have to be on the field with people who want to take your head off, even in preseason. And you have to at least, like we know in most of the third week of preseason, you got to go out there, take some hits, deal with some audibles, deal with some things that are, I guess, adversity just in general. And you got to go out there and make it happen. What were you saying, Chris?
I totally agree with you. It's the reality of the game. It's part of the job, and it's really unpredictable whether it's their first rep or their 50th rep. You can't count on when the injury will strike. Some people might feel just all the variables that comes along, and they know it's part of their job. The preseason is part of, I guess, for most of them. And we see some stars try to sit out. Adrian Peterson hasn't played a lick since he was with the Vikings, and now with the Saints, he needs to get his rep in. It's part of their job, and whether we like it or not.
Yeah, and even in instance like Julian Edelman, he's making a cut. I mean, that's something that can happen in practice. That's something that can happen in backyard football and a workout, whatever. He's making a cut, and ACL goes. Just like his forefather, Mr. Wes Welker. Same thing happened. He's making a cut in the open field. ACL goes, and that's a wrap.
Oh, we saw what happened to Teddy Bridgewater last year in practice.
Oh,
I mean, one of the worst knee injuries we've seen, and it was non-contact. I mean, he just stepped in a little bit of a divot, I think, and his just knee bent the wrong way. And it's hard to know when they're going to come.
Yeah, the point about Adrian Peterson, I mean, he's not getting many reps. He's conditioned to this. You should kind of think that he'd be all right in these kind of conditions. And to put a guy like Edelman out there, even Brady, really, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't really – I guess you just got to kind of acclimate him a little bit and get some contact in. But, man, that Edelman's just kind of a big hit. And they're thankful that they got Cooks now. That's for sure.
Without a doubt.
Yep.
And among other injuries that happened this weekend, Cam Meredith, who the hell's going to be the wide receiver for the Bears now? Is this
Kendall Wright for the win?
Yeah. Or a man with the same initials and even rhymes with Kevin White. I don't know if we can finally see it. Odds say no. And then the salsa boy, Victor Cruz. Who's your favorite, guys, of your three? Or even someone else?
I think they're going to give Kevin White every chance. Obviously, he's going to get all the chances at the beginning, but I think at the end of the season, Kendall Wright's going to be the guy that's going to lead the team in receptions now with Cameron Meredith out.
Yeah, did you see what NFL Draft Scout said on Twitter the other day about Kevin White? Said it looked like a fullback running back there. The guy that ran, blazing 40 was this athletic freak coming out of West Virginia, and now it's just I think the hope is lost with Kevin White. So I agree. I think it's Kendall Wright that steps up. I think his ceiling is very limited, but he could be a wide receiver 4 or 5 bye-week fill-in possibly for you.
Jarvis Landry's ceiling is limited. He still gets the job done.
He's a different type of player. I mean, Kevin White still has the highest ceiling for me, but the reality is he's on the clock.
I told you I was gonna. I got the little ding, ding, ding in my ears. Okay, I'm up 5th round. All right.
Oh, take Kendall
I'll
Wright.
pick up the Kevin White.
Take Kendall Wright.
So Kendall Wright, guys.
So Jake, you're the tiebreaker. Regan's going with Kendall Wright. Chris is going with Kevin White. Or are you going somewhere else besides those two guys?
Yeah, I'm going Kendall Wright, but not happily.
Someone's got to catch the passes.
I guess.
I mean,
Stephon Diggs is still there. Should I?
Oh, take him, man. What round are you in?
I hope it's PPR, my man.
And is Allen Robinson there?
No.
Allen Robinson's gone. He's gone. He went somewhere.
So why don't you read the top 3 receivers, top 3 running backs, top 3 quarterbacks?
I have 30 seconds, just so you know. But I'm kind of leaning Willie Snead right now, Diggs.
I'd take Diggs over
I'd
Snead.
I take
Diggs
Diggs as well.
over Snead.
I think Diggs will cover you whether it's PPR or non-PPR, so you'll be safe without knowing his scoring.
Oh shit! I don't know what the bye week is. This stupid fucking league. Oh god. I don't know. Okay, Diggs.
Don't get auto picked.
Let's swing. Yeah, I know. I don't want to be auto picked.
You're
All
gonna
right,
end up
Diggs
with
it
a
is.
quarterback.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, nerds.
You're welcome.
Okay, sorry about that. Back to the Dynasty Happy Hour Open Bar. We were just talking about Kendall Wright and how good he is out of the slot. He got a lot of targets when he was out for Tennessee, and that's where Cameron Meredith was successful last year. Was in the slot. They were trying to move him outside, and now it looks like Kendall Wright's going to fill that role in the slot. So yeah, I mean, I think it's doable. I
mean, he's put up a top 24 wide receiver season before, so we have seen him do it. Yeah, it's just, I mean, you think he's going to get peppered with targets. It's just, is Glennon going to be sufficient enough to deliver those targets?
One sleeper I do have, and we're talking really deep leagues. You're not going to add him in your traditional redraft or even in Dynasty League. You might need a deep bench. It's Tanner Gentry.
Nice.
He's a rookie, and he seems to have chemistry with Mitchell Trubisky, who is the future. So that's a name I would kind of be looking out for throughout the season to see if Kendall Wright doesn't step up, if Kevin White still runs like a fullback. Why not Gentry?
Yeah, I picked him up in a league. It was it was a startup this year, and I kind of went to that studs and duds approach. So my bench was awful and non-existent. So I picked him up. He might be one of my roster cuts. I have to get down to 25 players here next week. So actually, I think it's tomorrow. So he might be a roster cut, but he's definitely a guy I'll keep an eye on, especially if Trubisky gets a shot, which he should. I mean,
right,
looked phenomenal this preseason.
Yeah, that'll definitely happen. They did have a connection. They had a nice little, what was that, 45, 50-yard touchdown catch.
Yeah, they almost had. Didn't they almost have
a great route for it?
Didn't they almost have two of them too? I think he almost came down with the second, somewhat longer touchdown as well.
My deep guy, I kind of like deep guy on the Bears is Deontay Thompson. I kind of like him too. He's decently athletic, undrafted guy, kind of hitting that apex year, I guess, for wide receivers. He might have some relevance. I mean, look, these are just really deep guys, and something's going to have to happen if Cruz doesn't pan out with his knee thing. And Kendall Wright, he's had his injuries as well, and we all know about Kevin White. We could honestly be talking about Gentry, Thompson, and Braverman as like three wide receivers by the end of the season. It is realistic.
Well, yeah, exactly. 2 years ago, who knew Cameron Meredith?
Yep, exactly.
If we can continue this wide world of wide receiver roulette, let's land in New England. Obviously, we've got the GOAT up there slinging and banging, TB12. And obviously, we've got Chris Hogan, Amendola, Malcolm Mitchell, Gronk, of course, the aforementioned Brandon Cooks. Who are you putting your money on in New England?
Are you talking receptions? What are you talking here?
Just most productive. We're looking for these points. Where are the points at?
Well, if Gronk stays healthy, I think he's going to be tough to beat. But that's a big question mark there. And you have to think that Bill Belichick's going to come up with a way to get Brandon Cooks involved, especially with this Edelman injury. They don't give up a first-round pick for a wide receiver and then not use him. So I'm high on Cooks. I think all the talk that he takes a hit coming out of New Orleans. New Orleans never gives their receivers over the 120 targets, and I'm not saying that he'll get that this season necessarily, but I don't see how his value necessarily dips all that much. It's a similar kind of offense,
So do we even care about the others?
Well, Hogan, I mean, this might be the sell high moment on Hogan, but it also might be the kick yourself in the ass if you ended up selling him for maybe less than market value. I mean, if he steps in and takes a big role in that offense, he could have a monster season. But just coming off that preseason and with this Edelman injury, it just seems like this is a sell high moment for Hogan. I mean, I would imagine you could get maybe 18-second for him, and I think you got to take that.
Oh wow, 18-second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Jake. I mean, the last visual that people see of Hogan was those 2 touchdowns he's getting from Brady. And it's hard to trust any of them. I've never been able to pinpoint who to pick for New England, whether it's their wide receiver or their running back. Even some point might even not even sure which tight end to take. So like Jake said, Belichick really schemes around the other team. So one game it might be Cooks, one game it might be Gronk, one game it might be Hogan. How are you going to figure that out? I guess best ball league or you pick Brady. Those are the two situations where I'm really going to be attacking the New England offense. But outside of that, I don't know.
What I was thinking is with Edelman out, Brady struggled without Edelman a few times, a few different seasons. With him out, I expect them to go to more 2 tight end sets. So my little sneaky play is going to be Dwayne Allen if he gets a start over there. It's going to be whatever tight end starts with Gronk. Obviously, Gronk and Cooks are going to be the 1-2, but I think the second tight end is going to be the third leading receiver on that team. I think without Edelman there, they're going to go back to a lot of 2 wide receiver or two tight end sets, just like the Aaron Hernandez days.
Guys, I'm almost up.
Let's see who's available. Let's get prepared for this one.
Can we prepare for this a little bit this time so I don't have to yell at you? I feel okay. I'm on
so
the
why don't you go?
I feel badly for my.
Got a minute and 30.
Yeah, I got a minute 15 left. Okay, we have to hurry. Wide receivers, tight ends available. We got Corey Davis, Moncrief, Crowder, Henry. I don't know why these are ranked this way. Garcon, Eifert, Sanders. Hey, my boy Willie Snead's still there, by the way. I don't know what.
He'll still be there next. He'll still be there next round too.
Shut up. Okay. I didn't mean that. QB, you have to start thinking about that a little bit. Maybe Mariota, Newton. I like Newton right now, kind of a little bit. I still like Stafford and Rivers though as later guys next round. I don't mind that. Derrick Henry, all the Seattle running backs are there except Lacy. It's thin at running back, that's for sure. It's definitely like a shot in the dark at this point for running back, unless I take Derrick Henry, I guess. But 20 seconds. Derrick Henry?
You like Henry?
I love Derrick Henry. I mean, he's a guy that you might not get a lot of play with.
15 seconds.
Keep your fingers crossed.
15 seconds. 10.
Snead or Henry?
Snead or Henry?
Take Henry.
Snead or Henry, yeah.
Take Henry.
Upside.
Henry.
That's the last good running back.
He's my bench guy. Oh shit. I almost didn't get it. Oh, I got it. Okay.
Nice.
That was like 1 second left.
The thing I love about Henry is you got to keep your fingers crossed, right? I mean, if DeMarco stays healthy, he could just ride your bench all season.
Right.
If there's a chance that DeMarco goes down, he's a top 10 running back that you just got in the 6th, 7th round.
Yes, that was the 6th round, correct?
6th round, which is really like the 7th round of a 16-team, league.
Like the 8th round, because I mean every 3 rounds, every 3 rounds you add a round. So yeah, since this is the 6th, yeah, that would be basically like taking him in the 8th round. So not bad there, but I've been kind of watching him in preseason and I'm not all that impressed. I mean, he's a grinder. I know he can carry the ball like 300 times a game. I'm not worried about that. And especially if this league is standard, which I have no idea if it is or not, but if it is, he might be scoring a lot of touchdowns. So there is that upside as well for Derrick Henry. But he hasn't looked great in preseason.
Gotta love it when you go into a draft blind.
I don't think he's looked bad in preseason.
He looks like a grinder, but he doesn't. I don't know. He just doesn't have much.
I was going
to say jiggle. It doesn't have much wiggle to me.
I think. Well, he's like 250 pounds. I mean, for his size profile, I think his lateral cutting ability is extremely underrated, and he is shifty. You have to take in consideration his size. He's not the same lateral agility as Christian McCaffrey or a smaller back, scat back like that. But this guy's 250 pounds, and the way he moves and his high end speed, I think he ran a low 4.5, I think, in the combine. So it's not only his straight line speed. I think he does have lateral agility and can make cuts. And I think he's, like I said, I think he's a top 10 running back if Murray goes down. Easy.
Yeah, he's a deep. I mean, like, because this is just such a scarce kind of bench, you may as well take a guy with upside that might be worth something like exponential if it happens to hit, and hopefully, Murray doesn't go down just because it sucks to see that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it seems easily a top 10 back just in regards to volume. Like he's going to be the guy, that's for sure.
And
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say real quick, shout out to everybody who's watching us on YouTube right now. The chat is lit on YouTube, so shout out to everyone who's on us there. The fantasy football gurus going berserk, Dave, we've got Thor 300, Dwight, the big homies in there. We're having a good time. This is fantastic. So if you guys didn't know, obviously we are also live streaming this on YouTube. So bring your kids, bring your wives, bring everybody. It's a good time.
Yeah,
well,
I'm getting a lot of shit. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of shit talk on Twitter also. So. Nobody likes my cave here.
Nobody likes the cave.
Just move your camera down a little bit. Just move your
banana.
Move your camera down just like a couple inches, man.
That's the other part of this, Regan, is the fact that it's
just
not
eyeballs.
It's not just the fact that it's dark, but we only see the.
Can we all do this right now?
Are we all just gonna go in the dark?
We're doing half face.
I'm gonna turn the lights
half
off.
face as well.
It's like the neighbor from Home Improvement. You guys remember
That's
that?
exactly
Yeah,
that's like.
you got that. You got that too.
Oh, that's funny.
While we're on random subjects, Jake, have you ever gotten mistaken for Phillip Rivers? I feel like in some angles when you turn your face, you look just like Phillip Rivers.
Never. I got probably 100 pounds like Phillip Rivers.
Oh my gosh! No, look at it. I swear your face. I feel like y'all look the exact same. That's funny.
No, I've never heard that one.
That's a good one. I like that, J Mike.
It just hit me. I don't know.
I'll take it, man.
I like Phillip Rivers this year. Like I said, I mean,
As long as it's not his like whiny face, like when he's pitching.
Yeah, he's kind of.
When you squint like that, I see
Is
it.
that the face?
I see
Yes, that's it. I swear, I'm not even joking.
Like when he looks like a little bitch. That's what you look like. That's when you look like him the most.
Marvin Jones. Why the hell did he go?
Hey, Jake,
Marvin Jones?
in the chat, somebody said you look like the wrestler Kurt Angle.
Hey, that's a good one. Ankle lock.
Man, people think that I'm in way better shape than I
Patriotic,
am.
homie.
You are so famous. This is ridiculous.
Have you heard him sing? Have you heard Jake sing? Our
Chris,
off-season was lit.
I was hoping that this would not be brought up, my man.
When we come face to face, we got to always talk about our Disney mock draft, Disney song draft.
Oh, man.
Okay.
You guys need to find it. It's hashtag Disney Songs Draft.
I'm looking at it right now. Right.
Yeah, find some good ones for us, J Mike. Let's get Jake on mic and really.
I was hoping to make it through this show.
No.
All right. If you're gonna do mine, you have to do Chris as well, and you got to do Shane. Shane's were the best. And then shout out to Travis May. That guy's that guy's got some skills. He's like a real musician.
Dude can wobble too.
And he can walk. I love that video that you showed of that Tennessee fan getting his ass kicked. And you're like, oh, I guess you couldn't wobble your way out of this one.
Hey, I thought that was funny.
Right? That was hilarious.
I mean, the bull is literally drop kicking him, like legit. Like the dude is getting worked.
Yeah, almost into that four-wheeler.
He's like, first of all, I don't have an Eddie George jersey.
Oh,
I'm just kidding, Travis. Hey, that was it was a good little clip I saw. I thought of you, man. I was thinking of you, the Titans fan, my man, one of the few, the proud.
Hey, if we can't give each other some shit and not get sensitive about it, then we're doing all the things wrong, you know?
It's true. It's true. We're all good. J Mike, you work on that. I'm sitting here, kicking my feet back. I don't have to draft for a few picks, so I'm not sweating. I have Derrick Henry on my team. I'm gonna ride out to a championship. Thank you, fellas. I appreciate that.
Real quick,
Kareem
I was able to find something fantastic. We'll jump right on to Kareem Hunt. Jake Anderson back on April the 12th with pick 301. I just can't wait to be king.
Don't you dare.
From Lion King. Give us 10 seconds of it. Come on, Jake.
I'm not doing it live. Absolutely not. That's not happening.
Everybody look left. Come on, you can do it.
I think that song was like 10 seconds long. So.
And I can't wait to be king.
Oh, that's Gabe's song anyways. I mean, that's his profile.
I'm in the Simba squad. Shout out to my Simba squad people out there. I got I don't remember all y'all. Tyler Boucher, Casey Kasem, and some. Oh, I got a shout out to here's my other. Let me crack this here. I got I think I got that might be an eliminator. I don't really know. I got Quantum Turner. He likes these gozes, as we call them. I mean,
is that a sour?
Yeah, a little bit sour. Yeah, a little bit sour.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Tim. He just released his first podcast I saw for Fan Tracks.
Hey,
Quantum Turner.
Congratulations.
So shout out to Timmy boy. I'm sure he appreciates some likes and retweets on that.
John.
We have a special guest on Dynasty Happy Hour Open Bar. I hate saying that fucking title. What's up, John? John Bosch is here, man. We invited him on for a special.
We're not going to say why. We're not going to jinx anything.
Okay.
We're not going to jinx anything.
No worries.
I'm intrigued.
Hang out. I don't know. I didn't read far enough in. You're just like, invite me so I could do something funny. I was like, okay, that's good.
I think you'll appreciate it. It'll be fun. It'll be fun if it works out. Can you guys see what I'm looking at here?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're sharing screens too.
So let's keep it a little quiet. Keep it on the down low we got a few minutes before we get to have some fun. But so I'm gonna ask. I noticed Chris is on here, so Chris is able to get Google Hangouts to work tonight. That's great. Couldn't join us for our auction. Our auction the other night in our chat. How's it going, Chris?
I'm doing well, John.
Did you like your team in that league?
I hate it so much, but I'll make do with it. I was frozen out for like half the draft. I got my guys in the first half on OBJ and David Johnson, and I had to wait it out with all of you.
Yeah, that's how it seemed to go. The guys that were expensive went real fast, and then everybody just we did a live auction on Yahoo the other night, which Yahoo, you need to update your rankings. Like, that's fucking god awful terrible. I mean, seriously, you got to scroll down like 8 pages to find a starting quarterback. Sometimes it feels like, and in a super flex league, that's kind of important.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I agree.
But yeah, we like the studs just went, and then all of a sudden everybody's just like sitting there waiting. Man, if this backfires on me, I'm never talking to any of you guys again. But if this works out, if you can see what I'm building up to doing here, it's gonna be fun.
I'm not saying anything.
So, well, I'll let so your buddy Clint, your former, what is he, mistress or what's his term, whatever
Clint is Bay.
Like, yeah, the Bay. So he comes and goes and jumps into things like, oh, I'm going to be on your podcast, Gabe. Sure, I'm going to help you out, and then he just completely bails like a chump. So he deserves some bad karma, but he's a good dude, and he decided to start a league that he wanted to auction. So we did Bar Tab. I think he talked about it on here at one point, the Bar Tab League, where it's kind of a copy of Pigs, where you have the rolling bankroll and everything. And you just bid like fucking crazy to get your players at the beginning. So, Gabe, do you remember what position you thought I was nuts, absolutely nuts for going for in bar tab early on?
No, yeah. Cheers to you, dude. I fucking quarterbacks, man, in a 14-team super flex league, and especially in auction and dynasty, all the above. Fucking go get those early and bid on them cheap. I don't even care who it is. Just get 2 of them and run.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping works out here. I saw Dwight in the chat earlier. I'm hoping Dwight's not paying attention at this point.
Hey, John.
Yes, sir.
I think I may need to play spoiler for your last minute and a half.
Son of a
Derek
bitch,
Carr.
you're in this too, aren't you? No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yes.
No, I knew if I jumped on, there's a chance that I lose. But I'm I'm at the point. I'm 2 minutes away.
I'm kidding.
I'm
You
winning
got it.
Derek Carr, and I'm like, I don't quite know if I want him or not. And somebody got me.
Somebody got you.
You know Dwight's watching live right now.
It was so Dwight.
That's
It had to have been
Dwight. Dwight.
Oh, it had to
Oh,
have
it was Clint. Well, guess what? See what's coming, Clint?
Oh, his nose was itching.
Clint's gonna see what's coming.
Wow.
Who's Clint's boy? If Clint can get one quarterback, who's his boy?
No clue.
What?
Dak Prescott. He's 4 minutes. He literally just took Carr for me with about a minute to go. Oh, look.
You go
There goes my timer. You hear that? My timer to go bid up Dak. And there goes Dak.
Got him.
There goes Dak. Sorry, Clint. Love you, buddy.
Speaking of
You're not
timers,
sorry.
guys, I'm up. I have a minute left on my clock. Quarterbacks are fucking awful now. I knew I should have taken Cam back then. Not terrible, but Wentz, Dalton, Taylor, Bortles, Flacco, Bradford, and all the rookies. Hoyer, my boy Toy Hoyer. I love him. I don't know. What do you think? Punt, or should I swing on one of these fellas? I don't mind Wentz or Dalton.
Well, with only 2 bench spots, you can't play the matchups with quarterbacks. You got to have a quarterback
streaming
that you can ride. But that being said, God, that's so hard. It's Dalton or Wentz for me.
Yeah.
It's Dalton or Palmer, or or that quarterback who was the top 10 quarterback the last 2 years, Blake Bortles.
He's gonna be benched though. J Mike and I are both Jags fans. We know this. He's done.
Sad but true.
All right.
My condolences. Oof.
I just drafted the Red Rifle. I don't feel amazing about it, but let's grind, baby. Let's do it.
Even the Red Rifle is not safe from injury, but
he's pretty
he's
safe.
got the weapons around him.
He'll
Yeah,
be nice and steady.
So many weapons in that offense.
Yeah, the offensive line's the only part that scares me, but
Yep,
hopefully he can still get it done and put up some. I'm okay with like top 15 numbers as long as it's not outside of that. All right. So what were we saying? Fuck Clint.
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, go back to your regularly scheduled programming. I just wanted to jump on just so that it was on air when I burned Clint. Of course, it led to Clint burning me on air as well. Which, hey, you know what? I'm not shocked. I was hoping that Clint was, I don't know, distracted out Ubering or something and didn't manage to do it. But boy, he jumped in there. He got me. Oh well.
He hasn't texted or hit me up or anything. I don't know. I don't know if he's even listening. He's a fiend, man. He's watching that shit. He gets down to a minute or less than, and then he just puts it in. Oh, fucking.
Yeah, I would not have waited for Dak on that late, but like I knew I had a 3-minute window between when I would have gotten Carr and he would have gotten Dak. And I knew that if I would have jumped Dak early, he definitely would have jumped Carr back up on me. So I was like, I'll wait, and I'll just, in that 3-minute window, hopefully I'll get Carr, and then I'll get a bump Dak. That didn't work out, but still fun to bump him.
Yeah.
You got a second chance to do it.
Now, what'll be funny is if he wins
Hey.
car here and I win Dak, I bet he'd trade me straight up.
Hey, how come nobody's giving John shit? He's literally in a dark room also.
Not nearly as bad.
I am, and I was told that the elliptical is like a terrifying device behind me the other night when we were. People are like, "That's really scary," and I'm like, "Yeah, exercise is terrifying." I agree.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
It kind of looks like the Predator, like you know.
Yeah, that's it needs to get used more often, but this is a lot easier to use, you know. Like,
Bush Light curls. All right.
that's Yingling Light.
Oh, Yingling Light curls.
Yeah, that's my preferred beer. So,
Love me some Yingling.
yep. Thank God they have it in Ohio. They don't sell it down here in Kentucky, but I can just stop on my way home from work and get it, which is nice. So.
All right. Well, you gonna hang out with us, John, or what?
Nope, I have to be at work in about 5 hours, so I need to go to bed. I literally was staying up only to try and perform the Dak Prescott maneuver right there. that's how addicted I am. And I set my alarm to make sure, just in case I decided to fall asleep on the couch. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to wake up to do that. So, oh well. Clint has replied here that he loves me. But he had a feeling that if I won car for so cheap, I was gonna bump Dak anyways. Yep, damn right, Clint. Jerk.
He read you like a book.
Yep.
Yeah, it's almost as if I've been like auctioning against the same people for I don't know, like 9 months now. Good God, football needs to start. Like, really needs to start. There was no reason we did that Clint decided to start this league. But I was like, I can't pass it up. I mean, it's pretty fun, and I've helped him put it together. At this point, I kind of feel like a little responsible for it. So now we just have to get a whole auction done in like a week. That's possible, right?
Oh, easily.
Yeah, sure. We put up 10 players each today, 14 teams, 140 players on the board, and everybody's putting up 5 tomorrow. 210 players on the board at once.
Oof.
Oh my goodness.
Clint named the league Kamikaze after himself, which feels appropriate. So
apropos, yes.
That's fair.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for letting me jump in on the party for a little while, guys. Let me stop by, have a beer with you. You know.
Awesome. Good to see you.
Appreciate you coming on, John. Nice little surprise, brother.
Yeah, I look forward to listening tomorrow to the rest of it. I caught some of it, obviously, because I was like, I'm gonna start listening because then I'm gonna jump on and do this to Clint. Damn, Clint. If I didn't get to do it right back to him, I would be tilting really hard right now. But oh well, I got revenge immediately. That feels pretty good. All right, see you, fellas.
All right, see you, man.
Later.
Holy shit! Can we just talk about Kareem Hunt for 20 minutes now? Because that's my fucking boy. I've been touting that motherfucker forever, and now he's got his shot. Guys, how do you feel about Kareem Hunt?
I'll take ownership there too, my man. I've had him on my Devi roster for over 2 years now. So I've been a huge Kareem Hunt fan. I got him for $1 in our dynasty. It was a Devi and rookie auction our first year, 2 years ago. I got him for $1. I also got Evan Ingram for $1 and James Conner for $1 because I spent almost everything on Todd Gurley. But besides the point, I'm a huge Kareem Hunt fan, and I'm excited for him to get his shot. I think there's part of it seems like the community is completely split on Kareem Hunt. It's either everyone's obsessed about him or everyone hates him. So it's gonna be fun to see how it plays out. But I think he's a well-rounded back that's gonna assimilate the offense really easily.
Yeah, very. The shout out to your boy over at DFF, John Tabari. Is it Tabari or Tabari? Yeah, that shit was funny, man. That Kenny Galladay.
Oh my God, it's everywhere now.
That's exactly what it reminded me of, man. That's good.
Yeah,
that was good. So, swipe. I don't know how to play Tinder. Swipe left on Galladay and swipe right on Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
That's my boxer. Sorry.
Oh,
that's Clint talking about it.
Actually, we have a fucking job to do, J Mike, maybe, you could be a legitimate co-host and just be present. That would be good.
Oh my gosh, man.
I want to hear from Chris and Negan. Bring the bat out on Kareem Hunt. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think Chris can hear us. Chris said
Yeah, I was waiting for him to go.
Okay. Go
Chris
ahead.
is muted.
Regan, go ahead.
Yeah,
brother.
I mean, I like him. He's with me, he's even with Alvin Kamara. I have him as those two basically tied as the fifth best backs. I like the big four first. But man, he landed in a perfect situation this year, didn't he? Because everybody knows that Andy Reid loves to use that bell cow back and use his main guy. So I mean, think about it as just like Leonard Fournette this year. Now all of a sudden he's in a perfect situation. He's going to get all the carries. So, and it certainly moves him up the ladder, if not talent wise, at least volume wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, volume is key, and then you got to have talent too. That's definitely certain. But I think he certainly has enough. I guess I don't know. I mean, he's definitely in the right situation. We'll see how it pans out. The athleticism scares me just a little bit, but just watching the tape, man, the dude just runs his heart out and really hits those holes, and he's shifty, and he stays up a little bit too long for me, but I like him. I love Kareem Hunt, man.
Yeah, he's got such good balance, and his spin move is undeniable.
Yep.
And he's not a home run hitter, but he's going to get those chunk yardages. What's that, J. Mike?
I was just going to say, can we forecast a few years from now and just kind of salivate a little bit over how fun the Chiefs offense might actually be when you've got a guy like
someone's spicy right now.
That's Chris.
Yeah.
Just thinking about
sizzle take.
just thinking about how fun that could be with
dude.
Hello.
It's like an alien.
We had John Bosch's Predator elliptical in the background.
Sorry, guys. Camera's having issues. I have no idea what it is. I'll try to jump back on.
That's okay. You sound great, though. All right. So, so Mahomes, Hunt, and Tyreek Hill just had some pieces in
Travis Kelce.
Yeah. So, how fun can that offense be here in a couple of years? That'll be good stuff. This feels like a good time to buy in, specifically for Dynasty. Just forecasting out, that could be awesome.
Oh man, I was so hoping that Mahomes would go to Arizona. I was hoping he would come here, and it just didn't happen. Yeah, I'm really excited about him, especially. I mean, think about he's the complete opposite of Alex Smith. I mean, he's everything that Alex Smith isn't. It's going to be exciting when he gets the reins to the team.
All right, I'm back.
I do think Mahomes needs to sit, though. He was my clear quarterback 2 in this class. I think he was one of the most fun players to watch tape on in college, and I know he throws off platform pretty well and relatively accurately, but he throws off platform for no reason way too often for me, and he needs to work on that footwork. And I understand he makes plays. He was a baseball player, so he can make plays on the run, but he needs to learn how to set his feet and make plays. You saw that. Did you see that throw he made in, I think it was the last preseason game, where he had pretty much a clean pocket and he just tucked it off his back foot way over the wide receiver's head. He's got some development to do, and I'm glad he went to a situation where hopefully he can sit all year and learn the system and work on some of those fundamentals. And I am worried that, athletes, it's so hard to change how they work and how they play once the heat is on and the lights are on. So I have a feeling he could be extremely inconsistent, and I have the same concerns about Kaiser, but just even more. But yeah, he has tons of upside, but I do have concerns about Mahomes. I think he's getting a little bit overvalued in, especially like super flex leagues.
Yeah, the range is large as far as what he can be and what he can't be, really. So I did see a play in the preseason that just kind of made me roll my eyes a little bit. I mean, he was scrambling around the pocket like he does, and then had a perfect pocket, stepped up, made the throw on the slant, and then he decides to shift and just again he loves throwing off of 1 foot for whatever reason. It just like that's his thing, and so he bounces up and then he like bounces back with his left foot and he throws it and he still makes the throw, but it's like it was a little bit behind the receiver. It was like you don't have to do that. It's just like little tiny things like that just kind of bother me. And it's like you have a perfect pocket, just embrace it. And it's like you have the athleticism to move around like you do, but I don't know, that stuff just kind of makes me sweat a little bit.
Well, like Brett Favre, he was the best, right, at ever throwing off his back foot, but he could also step up and set his feet too. Like he didn't just throw off his back foot for the hell of it. He threw it off his back foot when he needed to. So there's a big difference there between using that ability to throw off platform when you need to and when just doing it all the time. So
well, but at the same time, him doing this in a second preseason game in his rookie year is one thing. If he's still doing it 5 years from now, then obviously we have a problem. It's not that big of a concern to me, being that it's we're going into week 4 of the preseason and he's a rookie. He's got a lot to learn, things like that. Man, the guy's got some intangibles, and I do have him also. He was my number one quarterback in this draft.
And let's not forget the Reid effect, the Andy Reid effect. Everybody who plays under him is always better, like always. Life is good under Andy Reid. So if you want to grow a guy, if you want to develop a guy and see a guy be probably at his best, Andy Reid's a great coach to have at that. So however long he has Andy Reid, I think it's a huge mark in the win column for a guy like Mahomes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all those points that's been brought up. I have my concerns as well for Mahomes, and I would shorten the window. Reagan gave him a 5-year window. I would give him more of a 3-year window. You want to see improvements every preseason, if not in season, because there's a very short time for professionals to develop. They're expected to have developed some semblance of accuracy, footwork, fundamentals in college and in high school. Is not as big of a concern right now for me, but it's definitely the fundamentals. So he's a fun project, but how much do fun projects succeed in the NFL?
Right. Can he harness this wild stallion?
I got a little bit of heat on this on Twitter for this comparison, but he reminded me of like a bigger version of Johnny Manziel with a rocket arm. Just like the way he danced around the pocket, maybe for no reason sometimes, or just throwing off platform. So yeah, he's a little scary for me.
No, I definitely see that comparison because Manziel was a wild stallion himself, not a professional, but a master at improvisation, and that's kind of what you see in Mahomes, trying to think faster than trying to react faster than what's in front of him, trying to just do a little too much. And in the NFL, you have a small window, and you have to take advantage of. That's why the fundamentals are important.
I gotta make a statement here. Writers here, Dynasty Wiz, man. Josh, where the hell have you been, for one? And two, like, welcome back. He just made a message in one of our group chats. So I just I'm sure it sounds like he's listening right now, talking about Kareem Hunt and whatnot. But sup, dude? Welcome back. Nice to have you around and listening. So just a quick shout out to you. we're wrapping up close to an hour, but we can go, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes. We had ladies on last week, so we have a range at which we can go, and I think they hit us at that hour and 30 mark, and we're like, okay, we're good. We're good. So we can tone it back a little bit, but we can hang out for a little bit longer. Any other kind of big things y'all been thinking about before starts next Thursday? We're 8 days away. So are we ready?
Yes, and yes. And yes, some more. Regan, real fast. It's funny you asked that, Gabe, in terms of what we're looking forward to. And I don't know how close to home this hits for you, Regan. But seeing those 2 catches and 2 touchdowns by John Brown last week had to put a smile on your face. I mean, it had to be fantastic for you to see. So I feel like this Arizona offense is to some degree being slept on. What are your thoughts on either John Brown or just what it looks like for Arizona this season? Because I feel like that's a wild card this year for the fantasy season.
It's all about if he can control that sickle cell issue he has. If that stays under control the whole season, John Brown's going to be a top 10 wide receiver in the league. He's going to supplant Larry Fitzgerald as the number 1 receiver in Arizona. And everybody's going to be calling his name at the end of the year. If he still has the issues, it's a crapshoot, man. It's an absolute crapshoot. But yeah, it was pretty exciting to watch that. That first touchdown catch over the shoulder. That was amazing. I mean, good Lord, that was an amazing catch.
Good throw.
That's the type of talent. That's the type of talent he has. I mean, the guy is an absolute stud. He really is a stud. And he's Bruce Arians' wide receiver, man. I mean, that's T.Y. Hilton. That's Antonio Brown. That's these guys. He is the mold that Bruce Arians looks for.
No doubt.
And he fills the role. So that's his ceiling. Antonio Brown is John Brown's ceiling. If he stays healthy. That's the thing, is the big if.
Heat right there.
Love that, man. Love that. Yeah, there's a few sickle cell guys out there, and you've never really heard of that kind of issue arise yet until the last couple of years. Tevin Coleman, Tymo, and so there's lacerated spleens, there's lacerated kidneys, there's sickle cells. Like, what is next? And just things you can't predict exactly, but certainly something to consider. And I'm with you, man. John, top 10. I love that dude. I've never been that high on John Brown, but I'm a huge fan, so I hope to see that happen as well.
I mean, I'm not going to draft him as a top 10, but but it's there.
All that being said,
I do have a question for Regan, since you're like really high on John Brown. What is with the quarterback situation? I don't see the quarterback of the future on the team right now.
No, absolutely, there's not. Now there's a lot of garbage going around right now in Arizona that people are getting on this Blaine Gabbert bandwagon, and I'm just going, oh God, please stop, just stop, just pump the brakes. But they're gonna ride Carson Palmer until he's ready to retire. Bruce Arians loves him, and it's the same with the other guys. It comes down to health with this team. They've got the makings of a top 5 offense. They got the makings of a top 5 defense all over again. It's going to be if everybody can stay healthy or not. That's kind of the situation they're in. And they've built the team like that. They place themselves in a position to win, but there's a lot of older guys on here. And if any of those old guys get hurt, I mean, that's it. So
it's going to be so interesting to watch. Jake, what about you, sir?
About what specifically?
Just in general, what do you Gabe was asking, what are you looking forward to in terms of before Thursday comes? What are you anticipating?
I don't know. I'm a Vikings fan, so I'm just the ultimate pessimist as far as my home team goes. And we've looked pretty rough this preseason. And the offensive line doesn't look like it's any better, which I really thought it would be much improved from last year. I do think that some certain teams, at least, almost suck on purpose, and not suck on purpose, but are so vanilla in the preseason because they don't want to put anything on tape that they come out looking really lethargic and kind of pathetic. And that's what got out of the Vikings this preseason, especially on defense. I mean, their defense was getting chewed apart by Brian Hoyer. That defense is going to look completely different once the season comes and Zimmer puts in those blitz packages. And it's an awful feeling being a Vikings fan and just having your heart broken all the time, and you never can like get too excited because you always have to hedge your bets that things aren't going to work out the way you hope they do. And I have Dalvin Cook everywhere, so I have my fingers crossed there. So yeah, I'm excited for the season to get started. It's almost surreal, the off seasons are so long and drawn out, and honestly, it's part of the fun of the whole year is the off season with the drafts and the hype and the talk and the analysis. It's so much fun, and then once the season starts, it's just overwhelming with content, and you can't keep up. And I'm excited for it to get started.
I'll tell you what, Teddy Bridgewater's going to look real good in a Cardinals uniform next season.
Oh, don't even say that. Don't even say that. That's my guy. Don't talk about Teddy.
He's going to look real good in the Cardinals uniform.
Chris, there's your QB of the future right there.
Oh man, just flip them, Bradford. Get your first back.
There you go. You can have Bradford. We'll take a healthy Teddy.
That's not good for John Brown.
Well, you have Stephon Diggs, so you better hope that Bradford is gonna do well.
Bradford's a good bridge quarterback, and honestly, I'm glad we got him because otherwise we would have been, we would have been trading up for a quarterback, and who knows who we would have taken. He's a good bridge quarterback, and it gives Teddy some time to hopefully prove that he can come back healthy. And the word is he's been cleared to practice, so he's ahead of that timetable there. I don't want to see him play this year. I just don't. I just want to take his time and get healthy. But this time next year, the Vikings are going to be in a difficult situation with deciding what to do with those quarterbacks, and I hope that they find a way to work something out with Teddy and don't give Bradford $25 million, $28 million on the franchise tag. It's ridiculous that these quarterbacks, and like I said, Bradford's a solid quarterback, but it's ridiculous that they're making almost as much as Tom Brady is making on these franchise tags. It's all or nothing with these quarterbacks, and when you pay these middle-of-the-road quarterbacks that much money, it just sets your franchise back. Why is it fair that, Sam Bradford's going to make as much as, any quarterback in the league next year?
Well, the funny thing is there was just somebody put a tweet out the other day that Tom Brady's not in the top 12 highest paid quarterbacks in the league right now. I mean, he's
bottom 12.
Yeah, he's like $14 million a year or something. I think Mike Glennon is making almost as much as he is.
It's not fair.
But that's what they said. They go, well, he's he can live on $15 million a year, and he wants his players to have the rest of that money. You get Matt Stafford out there making now what $29 million is his new contract. That's the new average on his contract.
And 25, yeah.
And what have the Lions done? Well, now you got a great quarterback, but now you got all these other holes to fill, and now you don't have money to do it.
There's got to be a better system to give quarterbacks tiered kind of salaries. Like they can't be all top heavy, and whoever's a free agent shouldn't be the highest paid player in the NFL all of a sudden. We saw it with Flacco, right? Dalton got a big contract. Kaepernick, even though there were some outs in that contract, got a somewhat big contract. I mean, all these quarterbacks that are middle of the road are getting tremendous amounts of money, and it's not fair for the teams to have to give them that much money when the top quarterbacks in the league are making similar type of money. It's not fair.
No, and you're going to watch it now. Every quarterback that comes up as a free agent is going to their contract is now going to be higher than the next guy. It's going to be.
Gabe, let me guess, you're on the clock.
I'll just say it after my. It's funny. I'll say it after my pick. I'm just gonna draft a player and we can talk about it. But it's just funny because there's another thing that I didn't know about the league. So there's another there's another bench spot. There's another bench spot. So I
It was just
am able-
hidden underneath the other benches.
Yeah, I didn't see it. No, they voted for it. They voted for it, and the commission didn't tell me. And I like scrolled down. And I was looking at the rounds. I said, "There's 11 rounds. There's only supposed to be 10." And he says, we just voted. There's 11 roster spots now. I was like, okay, good to know. So I didn't know that. Now I do, and I took a backup quarterback just because I did a QB pairing in case I got to kind of live the stream a little bit, and I took Dalton and I did Bradford to pair with Diggs in case he got a tough week. So did it, and look, it's deep. It's deep on the rosters. I was just looking at the last round, guys. Zach Ertz was going, Duke Johnson, Kenny Britt. These are all in the 10th round. So mind you, this is 160 players deep. God, that's just nuts to me. So
Bradford, I think the Vikings I think they might have the easiest pass schedule this season. So
yep.
Yep.
They do.
I just picked them up on my waiver in my home league. I had to drop Tyrod for that, and I have no regret.
Tyrod's still there. Didn't take him. Nope, I am not on that. I think the Bills are going to be bad this year. I think the Bills are going to be really bad.
Yeah,
I think like Jets bad.
Yeah, I think they need to drop McCoy down your rankings too.
I just don't know if they're going to run him when they're playing from behind so much. I picked up Jordan Matthews in this draft just now, just because I think they're going to play from behind a lot, and I'm not ready to commit to Zay Jones. I think he's okay, but I'm more of a Jordan Matthews guy this year to be top 30 or something, decent bye week play. So
Sounds good.
So you got one round left, is that right?
Guys, I have one round left, and it's just
what's your roster? Let's hear your roster.
No. Okay.
No. I don't want to. I need Gabe's impression voice to do on him.
What?
I need to work on that. I need the whiny Gabe impression voice. Well,
no. Yeah. All right. So they do reverse order for defense in the first round, which I kind of like. So anyone who's doing redraft leagues out there, if you do just defense first and get that shit out of the way so people quit reaching for it, do that because it's kind of cool. Do it for kickers too. Fuck it. Or just completely get rid of them. That's a good idea
that's
too.
the answer.
Right. Well, people they hold on to that shit, So, anyways, first round pick, Todd Gurley. Second round pick, Amari Cooper. Third, Carlos Hyde. RB1 this year, fools. Sammy Watkins, another wide receiver one. Guys, I have my first 4 picks are all in the top 12 at their respective position. How neat is that?
Hey, yo.
Stephon Diggs in the 5th round. Derrick Henry. Thank you guys so much for that one. Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle himself. Jordan Matthews. I did that while y'all were I did it on the low. Sam Bradford just recently, and now I'm waiting for my kicker. So I feel okay. I'm feeling all right. How do you guys feel? And mind you, it's a 16-team league. So
in PPR, I love it. In standard, I hate it.
We'll find out.
Hopefully, it's 0.5. You don't have to worry about anything.
I feel like I know it was standard when the league started, but I think it changed. I don't remember.
Aren't you in a group chat? Can you just send a quick message?
Yeah, I've talked to the commissioner, I don't know, not that often. So it's just like, we'll find out kind of thing. I don't know, whatever. It's fun. It's all good. It's fantasy football, man. That's what it's all about.
This is how pro you guys are. You don't even care about the scoring setting, and you can field a great team just like that.
Yeah.
That's just how you can tell who the real degenerates are.
Hey, that's what I did in the Scott Fish Bowl. I didn't even know half of the scoring things when I started drafting. I just drafted my team and went, whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't ask the commission if it's PPR yet. I have no idea. I can't believe if it was standard. I can't believe I was touting Willie Snead. That's not a good idea.
It's probably like return yards are huge.
It is. I know. Touchdowns are with 6 points in for quarterbacks. So I know.
Oh, it is.
They get a little bit of bump, but
Yeah.
I don't care
That may
about
have changed things a little bit, but
Yeah,
at least you have a
I
third
don't
bench spot and you got a second quarterback. That helps.
Yeah, yeah. That is kind of nice. I don't mind that Bradford Dalton pairing. We'll see with Diggs, but
So a lot of teams are either gonna have to drop somebody good or just take a 0 in their bye weeks from certain players. That's gonna be tough, man. That's gonna be fun.
Very.
Kamish said this is not a PPR league.
No wonder why Diggs fell that far. He doesn't score any touchdowns.
Gabe, you said they were all live. Like, they're all laughing at you when you're making your pick. They're like, what a
Diggs
dummy.
Whatever, dude. Bilal Powell went early and like a bunch of weird ass players. I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully Cooper gets some red zone targets and Watkins will get his red zone targets. It's fine. That's what I hate about standard. It just becomes so touchdown dependent, you know?
Yeah, Kelvin Benjamin's like a second-round pick in that league.
Yeah, no shit. I saw him going like the fourth or fifth or so. I should have probably swooped on that. Huh? Fellas, anything else before we wrap this thing up?
It was fun. Thank you for inviting me.
Nib High football rules. Anyone get that reference, or are we just going to be silent as fuck there? Okay, cool. Go watch some movies from Billy Madison. So let's hit the roulette wheel here and say our goodbyes. You know, give our free plugs and whatnot. So may as well start with my boy Negan.
Well, if a lot of you guys don't know, but we just switched over to a premium content over at fakepigskin.com. So $3.99 a month, $29 a year. Come and get all the content you want in every sport. We don't just do fantasy football. We do almost every fantasy sport there is. I mean, I write fantasy supercross. So we've got DFS guys in almost every sport, including UFC, making people money. So come subscribe, get on it. And I'm on Twitter, so
did you
come
throw
say
out
hi.
your Twitter handle? I didn't hear it. Did you say it?
No, it's at Regan FP, fake pig at Regan FP for Fake Pigskin.
Great. Yeah, I've unknowingly interacted with Fake Pigskin before, so and I never kind of knew, but now that I know, I feel good about it. Good group of guys, and especially after tonight. So thank you for coming on, my man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was fun.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet you, Regan.
Absolutely, anytime.
Hey, and Chris, the other Fake Pigskin, how can we find you on Twitter?
Absolutely. So my handle is at FFDynasty101. I'm on there just about most of my days. I've recently started doing a Dynasty Mind on YouTube, part of the Fake Pigskin YouTube channel, where I muse about different dynasty strategies and thinking about dynasty philosophy and team building. If you have time, feel free to check it out. In my last episode, I have a free offer for anyone who is willing to share the video. One of my articles is basically a fantasy depth chart. I know people draw their information from ourlads.com to kind of go through the depth chart when injury hits. So what I did instead was filter out all the names that has no fantasy impact and just sorted them into a kind of a depth chart for fantasy footballers who just needs the quick information for each team. So that's kind of what I'll give out for anyone who just shares about my video.
Easiest thing on the planet. Get out there and share it now.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I'm gonna go share it. Is it pinned or what?
It's on. Yeah, I have the channel pinned to my Twitter profile.
Okay. Yeah, the channel is just Fake Pigskin, and very shortly, all of our podcasts are going to be on there also. So we got
awesome.
5 different podcasts going on. We just added on the Asylum podcast, joined our crew, and Duke and Boy podcast is now a Fake Pigskin podcast also,
nice.
along with the ones who have always been with us, and all of them are going to be on our Fake Pigskin channel also live.
Awesome. On the rise. Fake pigskin becoming not so fake, but a real pigskin per se.
Per se. Dude, you're drunk.
Well said, Gabe.
Go check out the pin tweets from these fellas and get them up there, man. All right, Jake.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at NFL Draft Talker. We just launched the Super Flexible podcast. We just released episode 4.
Yes.
Super flex heavy podcast.
Yes.
We're going to eventually talk about some alternate scoring as well. We try to have a good time on there. We bust each other's balls. We have some fun. Highly recommend you go check that out. And I'm a writer at dynastyfootballfactory.com as well. Part of the DF Network podcast.
DFF Army.
DFF Army.
Hashtag. Yeah, we're running out of viewers, so we better wrap it up. As far as the super flex, connoisseurs may as well scoop up John Bosch, Clint Followell, get those fellows on the podcast. John Bosch has some good things to say about quarterbacks, that's for sure. I might be some of his kids' names, like Tom or Drew or Aaron, something of the like. I would not be surprised. J Mike, my main man, my co-host.
So now I'm your co-host. All right.
Yeah.
Co-host-ish.
We'll talk.
On Twitter at JMikeCheck, at JMICCheck. Regan and Chris, man, fantastic getting to talk with you guys and meeting you guys today. And Jake, you always enrich my life, so thank you. Thank you for coming on with us. Good times, and I am very much ready for this season to get started, so let's do this.
Hey, maybe next time you have us on, Chris will let me borrow that lamp behind him that he's not using.
I didn't know a lamp could be so fly.
It's like incredibly bright without having that on. It is funny.
Yeah, we have a lot of lights installed, but yes, feel free, Regan. Take it.
That's straight out of the Minority Report right there.
Awesome. Yeah, give J Mike a follow. He's climbing up that Twitter ladder, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Give him a follow.
Get him followers.
Get him out there at J Mike Check. Okay, only I can call him J Mike. No one else. Just kidding. His nickname for everyone. Okay, Sorry, I gotta stop talking. Blah blah blah. I'm at Grabbag Fantasy, the lesser of the two co-hosts here. Give me a follow. I do my own podcast. I try to bring on some dynasty team and talk about it specifically, get in depth with some sort of co-host that is, can hit those areas better than I can. Devi, IDP, that's definitely not as much my field, and I try to get those kind of people on for sure. I don't have a podcast this week. I'm going to throw that out there. I couldn't throw one together, couldn't get the people. So guess what that means is I need you. So get out there, hit me up on Twitter. Let me get you on. Shout out to the Dynasty Happy Hour Podcast Network, getting us. This is their podcast. You can find it underneath that feed. All right. So right next door to Dynasty Happy Hour, the main one, right next door to Dynasty Happy Hour Fantasy Tilt. All right. That's their redraft podcast. And then we're here on Wednesdays. That's live, but then we come through Thursday or Friday or something whenever Tyler gets around to it. Come on, Tyler.
Come on, Tyler. O'Doyle rules.
But hey, it's been good on the Dynasty. Hey, whoa. Oh my God. I have such good news. Oh my God. I should have opened with this. Guys, this is holy shit. I didn't even tell anyone about this, especially you, J Mike. This is fucking huge. Okay, listen. LFO, remember those guys? Yeah. They were there on episode 2. We have that, or was it 2 or 3? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Look, we have them in a league. We are doing a league with LFO. Okay, the two guys from LFO. Yes. Evan, We talked to them. They want in on a league. I talked to them today. We're doing it. It's a 12-man league. All right. Next week, we are not going to be live on Wednesday. We're going to be live on Monday night. Why? Because we're going to be drafting live. All right. We'll be doing at least half of it, maybe the second half of it. So if you want in on this LFO league, hey, over here at Grab Bag Fantasy, at J Mike Check, at DHH. Fuck, I don't know their Twitter, but hit that one up too and try to get it, hit the DMs, baby. Let's get this thing going. We're gonna do it live on Monday night with LFO. Okay, so let's do it. J Mike, you're my co-host. So you're already quit laughing at me. You're already in the league. So is that cool? You ready? You ready for Monday night? Is that good?
Victory. Do it.
All right. So we got 4 already. That means there's 8 spots left. Come in, come play with LFO. There is an entry fee. I think we're doing like $50 or something. To hit me up for that information. But sorry I kept you late here. But that I almost forgot. How could I forget about that? That is so important.
That's
LFO.
huge news.
Are you kidding me?
Is that a dynasty league? Did I miss that?
It's a redraft league. We're just doing redraft.
Got it.
Redraft league. Yeah. Redraft with LFO. Summer girls. Chinese food makes me say, yeah. Those guys. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Hit us up all on Twitter. Thanks for listening. We're going to be here next Monday. All right. We're not going to be here Wednesday because we're going to be doing that draft on Monday. Put your drinks up. Let's do a little cheers, even though we're drinking Blue Dolphins all the way around.
Pinky up.
Yeah. Love those guys. They're so cool. All right. Cheers, fellas. Do the little cheers thing towards the camera because that's what we do.
Cheers, fellas. Thanks for having me on, guys.
We will see you all next week.